Hi everyone, I'm Cody James with Some Like It Hollywood, here to give you a review of the highly anticipated film, It, based on the 1986 novel, It, written by Stephen King.
Here. Take it.
If you're like me, in your early 20s or so, chances are you saw the made-for-TV movie It several times throughout your childhood, and like many other kids, after seeing that film, I made sure to stay clear of any open sewer drains on the street.
Very wise indeed.
This film has been in production for several years, and at one point it seemed like it wasn't even going to happen. And I am very excited to give you guys my review and my opinions on how the film turned out. And as a little side note, how crazy is it that It, which takes the form of a clown throughout the book and the film, is really just an evil force, an entity that takes the overall shape of a clown, because I mean, really, what's more terrifying than a clown? It comes every 27 years, and how crazy is it that the made-for-TV movie came out in 1990, and here we are, 27 years later, 2017, and it is now on the big screen for everyone to see. Spooky. If you enter the theater expecting a clear adaptation of King's 1986 horror novel translated into a film, you may be slightly disappointed. However, if you watch the film without reading the 1,153 pages, you will find the director's take on the terrifying classic to be filled with plenty of jumps and scares. As a fan of both the made-for-TV movie in 1990, despite its G-rated subtext, and the 1986 novel, I have been anticipating this release for many years. While I was pleased to see that many events in the book that were overlooked in the TV film were brought to the screen, they seem to be unnecessarily edited down in order for the director to add some twists to modernize the picture and make it more relatable to viewers today. By doing this, the viewer is unable to get a clear understanding of virtually any of the 7 members of the Losers Club. Several characters who played major parts in the novel are edited down so much on the screen that their storyline and reason for being in the film are practically non-existent. With a running time of 135 minutes, the creators of this film seem to be more focused on the atypical horror move of making the audience jump at silent parts rather than bringing Stephen King's visionary tale to the big screen. One thing I will commend the director on is bringing the visual highlights of the town of Derry, Maine to the screen, as that's something that I think the viewer needs to see in order to get a clearer understanding of the actual storyline. In terms of acting performance, this film is brilliantly cast, with the protagonist having many of the same physical and emotional attributes that are described in the novel. In regards to Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of the ancient evil who takes the shape of the clown, Pennywise, his take on the character is a much darker tone than that of Tim Curry's portrayal in the 1990 TV movie. Let's face it, people, everyone's going to be making the comparison. However, I find myself far more terrified by Curry's performance, for due to modern day CGI and a voice that seems to be almost mimicking what a scary clown should sound like, Bill Skarsgård's portrayal comes across too manufactured.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
Nevertheless, he commits to the dancing clown and puts in a great effort to live up to Curry's memorable performance. Overall, my view of the 2017 film was exactly what I was expecting it to be. A highly modified version of Stephen King's novel, with the main focus being to scare audiences and not display the characterization and the reason for its being. Unlike the book, we learn nothing about where it came from, or how it originated.
My grandfather thinks this town is cursed.
It is an evil force, an entity that takes the shape of a clown. And although it does take the shape of several other things in the movie, we still don't get the actual impact of just how scary this force is. In conclusion, if you have read Stephen King's epic novel, you will be astonished by the visual effects and overall temperament of the film, and surely appreciate the fact that it was once again brought to the screen. If you expect to see King's novel reflected onto the big screen, you may be slightly disappointed. My rating for this movie, 6 out of 10. Until Chapter 2. And remember, stay away from the sewers.